Okay, let me make sure because I'm having trouble seeing if this thing went on or not. Okay, it looks like it's on. Okay, same thing goes. If it doesn't take on one of the pages, I'll put a 10-second thing up there and you'll find it. There was something that I left out of my last video, which is why I'm labeling this part 2. Something that was very important, and I hope that you guys will listen to this information very carefully. I shared with you guys, I don't know, last week, it could have been 2 weeks ago, the new page that I found, the FOJC radio, that spoke about the pre-Adamic race and was speaking about all these things that I was very interested in. And I shared it with you guys. This week it came out, not this week, we're only on Monday here. Last week it came out with radio on Billy Graham Exposed with Dr. Kathy Burns and David Carrico. This was done on 5/12/2003, and they re-aired it for people who may have never heard it. And I was one of those people who've never heard it. The truth of the matter is, the book that the female, Dr. Kathy Burns, the book that she wrote about Billy Graham, exposing Billy Graham, she literally uncovered, and her evidence was by videos that Billy Graham himself had made, books he had written, things that people have said about him that knew him, very reliable sources, that Billy Graham most likely was a Mason, a Freemason. Nobody have ever known that. But it falls into line with what the Bible says, that the world accepts the world. And here's Signorelli. This is what I saw about him right from the beginning. He wanted to be like Billy Graham preaching in a stadium, and he actually said that's exactly what he wanted. Well, it was shown that Billy Graham was most likely a Mason. The world accepts others from the world. People do not get so big and are known all over the world unless other people of the world know them. Darkness with darkness. What does the Bible say about not being of this world? Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. John 15:19. If you are of the world would love you as its own. Sleepers gravitate towards sleepers. The world rejects those from the light. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. This is John 15:19. John 18:30. Jesus answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would have been fighting, that I might not be delivered over to the Jews. But my kingdom is not from this world. 1 John 2:15. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in them. John 17:14. I have given them your word, and the world has hated them because they are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. 1 John 2:15-17. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh, the desires of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not from the Father, but from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires, but whoever does the will of God abides forever. John 17:16, they are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. Colossians 3:2, set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth, such as a month-long trip in Europe, such as a new house in New York City, such as $250,000 to buy a building in Long Island. And let's not forget the big movie that is all about Signorelli. He's a servant of Baal. He's not a servant of Jesus Christ. And as it appears, Billy Graham was the same way. I have put the video in the description. The video was also in my last video, the part 1, but I neglected to tell you about why it was there, so you wouldn't have had any idea if you didn't listen to it. This is the reason why. I listened to that video in its entirety, and the evidence is there. When you are of the world, others of the world accept you. How these people get so big in name and fame and the whole world knows them and get lots of money, lots of money. They're servants of Baal. They're not servants of Jesus Christ. And every single person out here needs to understand this. I'm going to leave this right here. The video's in the description. So are the open Bible verses about not being of the world. It's in the description.